Good morning to you. We could not ask for a more beautiful day to celebrate all of our students who are here and raising their right hand to take the oath. We're so grateful to be here and celebrating you. My name is Stacia Nucken. I'm with WKYC in Cleveland. I'm also a USO volunteer and a grown-up military kid, as I describe myself. So I'm so grateful to be here as we welcome you to this extended military family. This event celebrates those Ohio high school students joining our military. The ceremony is hosted by the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce in partnership with the Ohio Department of Veterans Services, Ohio Air and Army National Guard, the United Services Organization, or USO, and the offices of the Governor and Lieutenant Governor, the Honorable Mike DeWine, and the Honorable Jim Tressel. We are thankful to the representatives of partner organizations who staffed the information tables located in the lobby today. These include the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce's Ohio Military Veteran Educator Program, the Ohio Department of Veterans Services, the Ohio National Guard, the Military Interstate Children's Compact Commission, and the Red Cross. We would especially like to thank the National Veterans Memorial and Museum for not only hosting this event, but the opportunity attendees have to record their story in partnership with the StoryCorps' Military Voices Initiative. And now, if you would, please stand if you are able for the presentation of the colors. Our color guard is from the Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps unit at Delaware Hayes High School and is part of the Delaware City School District. They are under the leadership of Major Matthew O'Brien. The Purple Star Award from the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce recognizes schools that show a major commitment to students and families connected to our nation's military. Ohio was the nation's first Purple Star state. There are now Purple Star programs in 46 states, and that number continues to grow. Ohio is also the first collegiate Purple Star state. Currently, there are 598 schools and 53 institutions of higher learning that have earned the Purple Star Award in Ohio. This year's K through 12 awardees will be announced in April, the month of the military child. Leading our Pledge of Allegiance today are students from Washington Elementary in the Hilliard City School District. Washington Elementary has been a Purple Star school since 2024. The students present today are all from military-connected families. So please help me welcome Riley, Chloe, and Aiden.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for our national anthem, performed today by Staff Sergeant Chu of the 338th Army Band.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the Rockies we clear, the
Please be seated. Service in the U.S. military is uniquely challenging, and the people who serve and their families take on sacrifices that all Americans benefit from. And we don't all serve in the military, but we can all support those who do. Since 1941, the USO has been the leading nonprofit dedicated to strengthening the well-being of the people serving in America's military and their families. The USO goes where service members go throughout their time in uniform, providing support from the moment they join the military through deployments and as they transition back to their communities. Our programs include the well-known entertainment tours in USO centers around the world, and also programs for military spouses and kids, a gaming program, a care package program, and so much more. The USO is the constant companion of service members and their families because even the strongest among us need someone by their side. To learn more and support the USO's critical mission around the globe, visit uso.org. And I hope to see you at one of our USO centers, perhaps over at John Glenn International, where we have a center, so we will be looking forward to seeing you there. Next up, we want to welcome Colonel Dustin C. Richards, the commander of the 88th Air Base Wing at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. The 88th Air Base Wing is the largest air base wing in the Air Force, with more than 5,000 officers and enlisted airmen, Air Force civilians, and contractor employees. The wing provides support and services to the largest, most diverse, and most organizationally complex base in the Air Force, including a major acquisition center, research and development laboratories, a major command headquarters, an airlift wing, and the world's largest military air museum. The base is home to more than 30,000 military, government, civilian, and contractor employees and associate units. Colonel Richards is a 2001 graduate of Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. He's served in numerous wings, numbered Air Force air staff positions, and commanded a mission support group and 3 civil engineer squadrons. He has deployed 4 times in support of Operations Southern Watch, Iraqi Freedom, New Dawn, Freedom Sentinel, and Resolute Support. In his previous assignment, he served as the Senior Military Assistant, Office of the Assistant Secretary for Energy, Installations, and Environment, Headquarters, U.S. Air Force, Washington, D.C. Please welcome Colonel Richards.
Well, thank you for that warm welcome. You know, they never tell you if they're going to read the whole bio. But what it left out is that I'm actually a proud Ohioan as well. My parents are both from here in Columbus, and it's just an honor to be back in the state at Wright-Patterson to do the job I've been asked to do. I want to open with thanks to everyone who had a hand in putting this ceremony together. It's a first-class day and a first-class way to recognize the service that all of you are about to embark on. I want to thank our distinguished visitors for being here as well and representing their services. And for all the parents, the family members, and friends in our crowd who are in support of these signees, thank you for everything you've done. So signing days, are typically associated with sports. And it turns out that around 5% of college students end up playing collegiate sports. But you may or may not know that fewer than 1% of Americans actually swear the oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and join this team that we're a part of. So to have a signing day to recognize that service really does exemplify that we are a part of a team sport. And whether or not you realize it, the fact of your service over yourself is going to be the best decision that you've ever made. It's going to earn you significant opportunities. First, and probably most important, you'll have the opportunity to be part of something bigger than yourselves, to defend the freedoms that we hold dear, and to make a positive impact on your nation, on your state, on the world. Secondly, there's all kinds of opportunities. You'll be able to personally and professionally grow through hands-on training, training in the field, education opportunities. And lastly, you're going to make an impact the second you join. Whether it's out leading teams, conducting operations, overseas, at home, or overseeing millions of dollars of equipment or programs, you'll be serving our nation. I'm a result of these opportunities. Throughout my career, you heard a little bit about my bio, but I've had the opportunity to travel overseas, to deploy in defense of the nation, to serve alongside men and women from around the country, and it's been the honor of my life. It's been a great career for me, and I could talk all day about it, but really we're here to talk about you, because you are the future. So Chief Fontaine, as well as the distinguished visitors up here to my left, we've served combined many decades of service. And the environment that we operated in has been one of countering violent extremists in faraway places. And the environment that you're entering the armed services for today is one in which we are in competition every day with powers that would contest us in our very homeland. It is a different environment than what we grew up in, and I have all the confidence in the world that you are able to meet those challenges because you have been raised and grown up in a technological era where you're going to be able to utilize the tools of the future to get after the nation's needs. You're also going to enter into an environment where leaders are going to be removing the barriers that you face. They're going to be helping you succeed and get after the challenges versus, constantly telling you what you need to do and what you need to get done. So when you're in, I encourage you to constantly bubble up your good ideas. Tell us where we've missed some things. Tell us where you can bring ideas to the future. So as you get closer to transitioning from civilian life to being an airman, a Marine, a soldier, or a sailor, I want you to just think about your why. Why did you choose to serve? Is it to see the world? Is it to continue the legacy from your family? Is it educational benefits? Is it to be part of something bigger than yourself? Remembering your why can help push you through when it gets tough. My why has changed throughout my career. To start, it was actually all about the money. I was ready to go to college, and I needed a help, so I was lucky to have a scholarship. As I progressed through service, it became more about the teammates and leading and seeing the impact that I was having on junior airmen. And now, as I look towards the back end of my career, it's about my 2 young daughters, my wife, my family, and the impact that we have on this nation. So hopefully, in these brief remarks, you've just taken a little bit away for what the future holds to you. And I just want to leave you with a parting note of, as you enter service, make sure that you take as much of it take away as much as you can from your time, whether that's your professional growth, your personal growth, educational benefits, opportunities to see the world. Know that the service you're entering is going to ask a lot of you and have high expectations. And while you meet those expectations, know that you're going to end as a better person at the end. So thank you all for what you're doing, but more importantly, for what you're about to do, and welcome to the team.
Thank you, Colonel. Our first student speaker today is Private First Class Ethan Stapleton. Ethan is a senior at Riverdale High School. He enlisted in the Ohio Army National Guard during his junior year, attended basic training in the summer before the start of his senior year, and he's had the unique opportunity to be a soldier while attending high school. At Riverdale, he is the Future Farmers of America Chapter Vice President and previously served as its secretary. Formerly, he served 2 terms as class president. In his free time, he raises money for military nonprofits, including Guitars for Vets and the Wounded Warrior Project. Please welcome Private First Class Ethan Stapleton.
Hello and good morning to you all. Before I start, I want to thank every one of you for making this day possible. I want to formally thank all of you sitting out there who are here because you have decided to serve our country and or have taken the first step for the potential of a great career through the ROTC or Service Academy. My name is Ethan Stapleton. I'm a senior at Riverdale Local Schools, where I serve as my FFA chapter's vice president, where I work and enjoy my day-to-day activities. My journey truly began on May 19th, 2014 in Portland, Michigan, while I was in attendance at my great-grandfather's funeral. My great-grandfather enlisted in the Army in 1947 and was honorably discharged in December of 1951. He served in the ranks of the Korean War, becoming a Golden Glove boxer, and he was a prisoner of war for some time. The cool Michigan morning air, with the sound of the taps being played and the distant noise of a 3-rifle volley going off. Though I may have only been 8 years old at the time, little did I know that it would be my calling to one day join and serve my country in the United States Armed Forces. The remaining years went by, and little by little I was told more by my family members who have served, such as my great-grandfather's son, or my grandfather, who also served in the U.S. Army as a 64 Charlie, being deployed with, at the time, the only unit in the United States Army that had commercial semi-trucks on the Autobahn in Germany. He's been stationed at 5 different bases and had been to 18 different countries by the time he was 19. He held his parachute patch through the 82nd Airborne Division and had Ranger training. Hearing all about the experiences and memories sparked something in me. Just a little after my grandfather told me a little bit about his story, I made my decision to serve my country, state, and community by raising my right hand and enlisting into the Ohio Army National Guard. It was by far the wisest decision I have ever made. One that has already and will continue to bring a lifetime of memories made with some of the less than 1% of our population. Roughly 0.5 to 0.5% of the U.S. population raises their right hand and chooses to fight for and defend our country and the freedoms we enjoy daily. To those of you here who have, congratulations, and I wish you the best of luck throughout your career and the greatest fighting force the world has to offer. Always remember that no matter how tough times get, in any situation you find yourself in, you joined for a reason. Make yourself and those around you proud of what you have, can, and will accomplish. You will always get what you put in. Go into every situation giving your best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ethan. Our next student speaker is Malia Hivner. She's a Hubbard High School senior and president of the school's chapter of Fellowship of Christian Athletes. She's involved with Pep Club, Students Against Drunk Driving, ASL Club, choir, and is a student member of the school's Positive Behavior Interventions and Support Team. Outside of school, she's active at her church and enjoys spending time with friends and family. Malia has enlisted in the Navy as a religious program specialist. Please welcome Malia Hivner.
Good morning. Before I get into my speech, I would like to take a moment to recognize the recruiters from the Boardman Navy Recruiting Office. Chief Gillette and Petty Officer Silsby have been by my side through this whole process. And as they join me here today, I thank you for your support. I also would like to thank the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce for putting this event together to showcase all the students here today. "167 days. 167 days before I leave everything I've ever cherished. To leave my childhood home and my loving parents, to wake up every day and serve the loving country I grew up in, is both exciting and frightening at the same time. Beyond the excitement and fear, however, especially to those who have signed the contract, there's another much stronger emotion: honor. The honor of having the privilege to defend the country that has given so much already to each and every one of us. Recruiters tend to get us intrigued by talking money, scholarships, and free travel. Though those are true, that's not why I enlisted in the United States Navy. Serving to me is an incredibly selfless act. I grew up in a middle-class family where my parents worked hard for everything my brother and I needed and wanted. I watched my dad come home from long shifts working at the prison, but still managing to make it to my soccer game, all while having a proud smile on his face. Growing up with parents who work so hard, all while being there for every important event, truly shaped me into the person I am today. I've learned selflessness from both of them. As I was looking into the different branches and deciding if serving in the military was truly for me, I spoke to many veterans and current enlisted soldiers, and the one thing they all shared was a sense of pride. The pride shown in all their faces, specifically when they shared stories and words of encouragement. The sense of pride was truly inspiring. It's common to walk into a civilian job and find that many dread their day-to-day life. It's rare to find a service member who regrets his or her time in the military. With my parents' work ethic and their compassion that was instilled in me, enlisting was the easiest decision. After countless hours of research, I felt the United States Navy was the best choice for me. It was such an honor to raise my right hand and take an oath to defend our country. I have won awards throughout my life for sports and church events, but still nothing came close to the pride I felt signing my name on that contract. Through the DEP program, I've grown to learn so much more about the Navy than I've ever known. We were asked by our chief to write about a service member who received the Medal of Honor and was in the Navy. I chose to write about John Strokes. Chief Master Strokes was awarded the Medal of Honor in 1899 for jumping overboard to assist in the saving of a fellow sailor who was drowning. Due to this heroic act, he was awarded the Medal of Honor. As I was writing about Master Chief Strokes, I wondered what was going through his mind as he jumped into that water, if he was nervous or hesitated as he jumped overboard, or if he didn't think twice when he saw his fellow sailor in need. During my time in the service, I hope to be exactly like Master Chief Strokes. The bravery to help those in need is inspiring. I enlisted to help others, but to also help myself. While carefully choosing my job in the Navy, I felt being a religious program specialist checked off all the boxes of the person I want to be. Finding this job made everything feel like it was falling into place, like God was truly setting out the stepping stones for my life. During my time as an RP, I will prove to myself that I am capable of doing anything I set my mind to, all while carrying the bravery and strength that Chief Master Strokes held. It's an honor to live in a country where women have the same chances of succeeding as men do, especially when it comes to a service career. Life wasn't always like this for the United States and still isn't like this for many countries. I enlisted to not only serve my country alongside my fellow sailors, but to show honor to the millions of women who paved the way before me, so I can experience the journey the United States Navy will certainly provide. My mom always tells me the sky's the limit, baby girl. And that phrase I will carry with me through my time in the United States Navy. The sky's the limit, and I hope through my service I work to change and inspire the lives of so many around me. Whether it's pouring faith and hope into other sailors or reaching out a hand in time of need, I'm committed to being the best version of myself so I can help others in the service. I will forever be thanking God for giving me a job through the Navy that I can fulfill his purpose in my life. Just as the United States Navy SEAL depicts, a three-masted, square-rigged ship with the American bald eagle, I see my journey embracing all that SEAL represents: bravery, honor, commitment, naval excursion, and pride. Each of us might look at our branch's SEAL and see something similar, which is the bond that will bring all of us together as we serve, regardless of our background or our branch. So enough about me. We are all here for a reason today. Whether you were promised a fancy car or following your mission in life, we all have one common goal: to become the best version of ourselves through the training and discipline of the United States military. I thank you all for being here today, and I hope 20 years from now, we can look back on our time in the service and thank our younger selves for having the courage to do what most don't. My faith shall carry me through my time as a religious program specialist, and therefore I close by praying that every one of you has a safe, healthy, and fulfilling future. Thank you.
Malia, thank you so much. Next up, Major General John C. Harris, Jr., the Adjutant General of the Ohio National Guard. General Harris assumed these duties on January 14th, 2019. Appointed by the governor, General Harris serves as the governor's principal advisor on all National Guard procedures and is responsible for both federal and state missions. The Ohio National Guard consists of the Ohio Army National Guard, Ohio Air National Guard, Ohio Military Reserve, and Ohio Naval Militia, totaling more than 16,000 personnel. Prior to his current assignment, General Harris served as the Assistant Adjutant General, Army, Chief of Staff, and Director of Personnel of the Ohio Army National Guard. He has also commanded a peacekeeping task force in Kosovo and remains actively engaged in the State Partnership Program and ongoing relations with Serbia and Hungary. He's a senior Army aviator with experience in attack, scout, and utility aircraft. Please welcome Major General Harris, who will provide special remarks and administer the oaths of enlistment.
Thank you, Stacia. I don't know if we have here in Central Ohio a stronger supporter for our military and veterans community, so thank you so much. I'd also like to thank Staff Sergeant Chu for that rendition of the national anthem. When she hit the high, I thought we were going to have to replace windows in this place. That was really something, so thank you for that. Thank you for the parents and for the educators and for all the recruiters and service members who are here to support these new recruits today. Thank you so much. You know, I believe with every fiber of my being that the Armed Forces of the United States are truly one of the greatest, is the greatest organization on this planet. It's the most respected. And as you take this oath, as a soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, guardian, just remember that every other soldier, sailor, airman, and Marine around the world and every other armed forces looks up to you because you're an American. Because you're an American sailor, soldier, Marine, guardian, or airman. Simply because you're American. And remember that American exceptionalism, which does exist, but it does not flow from the fact that you were born American. It flows from the fact that this country has dedicated people like you who've taken the oath to serve in the greatest armed forces in the world. And I hope that today you have the opportunity to walk through this museum. And I love this museum more than most. You won't find a lot of equipment here. You won't find a lot of artifacts. You won't find a tank. You won't find an aircraft. What you'll find are stories. This museum's built around stories. Even the banners that hang above you. One side represents the individual's military service, and the other side represents them today. Because when we become the soldiers, when we become service members, we don't lay down the citizen. But as you walk through here, remember this. This is your responsibility. It's your responsibility. When you take the oath, your responsibility is to continue to perpetuate the story. It's to continue to perpetuate and move forward the excellence. It's to continue perpetuating American exceptionalism. Because true patriotism means that you love a country and the people in it. You love a place and the people in it. And that love is not a static verb. It means action. It means that you're willing to stand for it. It means you're willing to fight for it. So as you go forth, just remember, you will enter initial training. You will endure hardship. You will suffer. But it's that crucible, it's that fire that purifies and makes you an American service member. And remember, your mission when you arrive at training is not very large. Your mission is win the day every day. Wake up each morning to win that day. Wake up each morning to learn more about yourself. Wake up each morning to realize that that hardship, that suffering, is forging you into that thing that's admired by just about every other service member and citizen on this planet. And it is that suffering and that hardship that you're going to endure that will teach you more about yourself than you ever thought you could know. Finish what you start. Wake up each day and remember, finish what you start. And eventually, your mission will grow, and it'll become about the team. And it becomes about your values, and it becomes about honor. Because every oath that you take, every service creed, every service song has a reference to honor. And it's your job to sustain that. So I thank every one of you for taking the oath. I thank every one of you for having the courage to start on this journey. And just remember your mission. Wake up each day to win the day. And someday you'll be standing back there watching your young child or some recruit that you've put into boots or some student of yours or some FAA member, watching them take this oath, and you'll smile with pride because you know how much they're about to grow. So if you're ready to take the oath, all our service members, all our recruits, on your feet. If our uniformed service members will come to attention. Now, recruits, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to regulation and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations. Let's give them a hand. All right, take your seats.
Thank you, General Harris. All right, future soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen, guardsmen, and guardians, please make your commitment known by signing the document in your envelope, which serves as your pledge to fight for our freedoms and defend this great nation. We will now play the service songs for each branch. Veterans and future service members, please stand if able when your branch's song is played. Coast Guard. Air Force. Navy. Marine Corps. Army. Thank you so much. Director Stephen D. Dakin leads the newly formed Ohio Department of Education and Workforce. Preparing students for success means understanding the connections between the classroom, real-world experiences, and the knowledge, skills, and opportunities needed for a bright future. With more than 40 years working in multiple educational settings, Stephen Dakin has amassed extensive experience in state education policy, instructional leadership, post-secondary education, and workforce readiness. Director Dakin's career has been guided by a personal focus to work in service to children and families. Prior to being appointed as director of the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce by Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, Director Dakin served in a wide range of roles, including classroom educator, school and district leader, as well as roles with the former Ohio Department of Education, the State Board of Education, and in higher education. Please welcome Director Dakin.
Good morning. Oh, good morning. Excitement. This is my favorite day of the year, other than my wife's birthday. I got to put that out there. So I love doing this. We are so proud at the Department of Education and Workforce to help sponsor this event. I think it was mentioned earlier in some of the remarks about signing is usually, we think of athletes, but this is as important, if not more important, because of the things that you're committing to do. Serving this country, serving our state is no higher calling, and I am so proud to be here today. I do need to do a couple things. I need to recognize, because this event takes a little planning, so I need to recognize our staff. Some of them are probably standing. If you're not standing, if you could please stand. Staff from the Department of Education and Workforce, please stand, and if you're standing, just put your hand up. Come on, come on. We are obviously very proud to sponsor, but we're equally proud that we have 598 schools who serve as the Purple Star schools. And you heard that earlier in the remarks, and I've got it on good advice that in April, we may see that expand to maybe 700 schools in the state of Ohio. So let's give a round of applause to those schools who are not only doing it, but plan to do it. So I always start out every day. I was raised by two loving parents in Northwest Ohio. My parents raised me and with the notion that life is a gift, and that you ought to start every single day with being grateful for something. Gratitude matters. Now, I just highlighted the fact that you all are here because of the tremendous commitment, the courage you took to make decisions, and your commitment to the country. But my guess is you didn't get here alone. My guess is that you have somebody in your life, some adult in your life, whether it was a parent, maybe a teacher, a recruiter, whoever that might be, that helped you along the way, that got you to where you are today. And I just want you to think about that for a moment. And then I also want you, to, if you would indulge me, because my guess is some of those people that you're thinking about are out in the audience today. That's just my guess. So if you would be so kind to indulge me and just stand up, turn around, and please give them a round of applause. Students, please just stand up, turn around, please give them a round of applause. Thank you for indulging me. And again, I'm not here to give a big speech because to me this is about being able to provide a platform for others that you need to hear from today and continue to our pledge at the Department of Education Workforce to continue to sponsor this event. It is so important to us. We have a number of our own staff members who are associated with the military. And so we have a deep abiding commitment to continue to offer this opportunity as we move forward in the future. So with that, what I'd like to do again is just say thank you and wish you nothing but the best of luck. Thank you.
Director, thank you. Now, next up, a native of Columbus, Brigadier General Shannon M. Brown, a 1995 graduate of Swarthmore College, commissioned as an officer in the Marine Corps in August of 1996 and was designated an aviator in February of 2000 after flight training in Pensacola and Meridian. Brigadier General Brown has served as an FA-18 pilot in the operating forces with Marine Fighter Attack Squadron All-Weather 224 as the operations officer of Marine Aircraft Group 12, the commanding officer of Marine Fighter Attack Squadron 115, and the commanding officer of Marine Aircraft Group 11. In the supporting establishment, he completed a tour as an FA-18 instructor pilot with Marine Aviation Weapons and Tactics Squadron 1. His staff assignments include Deputy Branch Head of Aviation Manpower Support at Headquarters Marine Corps Aviation, Senior Aide to the 37th Commandant of the Marine Corps, Deputy Director of the Programs Analysis and Evaluation Division of Headquarters Marine Corps Programs and Resources, Command Inspector General of 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing, and Senate Director, Office of Legislative Affairs, Headquarters Marine Corps. Brigadier General Brown's joint assignments include 2 tours as a Fire Support Officer and Forward Air Controller with Naval Special Warfare Development Group. He assumed the duties of Assistant Deputy Commandant for Programs and Resources in June of 2024. Please welcome Brigadier General Brown.
Well, good morning, everybody. Hey, it's great to be back in Columbus. Any Columbus natives in the audience? Okay, all right. When I left here, this museum didn't exist. It was like a convention center. I almost got lost driving here. I got my first tattoo about 3 miles down the street on West Broad. My parents still don't forgive me for that. I've had many opportunities to visit home since I left for the Marine Corps. I remember getting on the bus just about 5 miles from here to go to Officer Candidate School in Quantico, Virginia almost 30 years ago. although a lot's changed in my life since then, my passion for Ohio State football has remained constant. Are there any other Buckeyes fans in the audience? Yeah. I.O.? Are you all from like north of Toledo or something? Okay, well, unlike you, it's been a long time since I've been to Ohio, and I haven't been in the presence of this many Buckeyes in a long, long time, so just bear with me as I relive the glory of this past season. Because I'm not tired of talking about it yet, let me tell you. What an amazing season. A team of players from all different walks of life, training to play at different skill positions, learning how to work together, each doing their part, whether offense, defense, special teams, having to come together through unexpected adversity, like if you remember the away game at Oregon where they lost by 1 point, or the unfortunate result against that team up north, right? They had to circle the wagons, they had to regroup, and then they had the hardest road of any team through the playoffs, if you all recall, right? Tennessee, Oregon again, Texas, Notre Dame. I mean, legitimate. Probably nobody can say that they had to do that to win a natty. And that's exactly what they did. And we all know, being Ohio natives, that's the expectation every year for Ohio State, right? Is to win a national championship. Ohio State football is synonymous with winning. But now let's take it to another level. You all have volunteered to be on a world championship team of much more consequence. You kind of heard about it from some of our previous speakers. It's made up of people just like you from all over the country, from different backgrounds, different skills and talents, volunteering to serve for many different reasons, coming together to be one team. But in case they didn't tell you before you took that oath, we don't play on Saturdays. Stakes are much, much higher. You all just joined a team that's been around for almost 250 years. It's actually older than our country that we serve, right? We fought for that country's independence. We battled to keep our nation together during the Civil War, fought next to our allies in 2 world wars, and many other conflicts over the past 80 years. And a team that continues to prepare today for any adversary who threatens our freedom, our values, and our national interests. You're going to find out very shortly that we train very hard to fight, and we fight hard to win, because there's no second place in our line of work. The oath of enlistment that you all took is a commitment to a set of ideas and values memorialized in our Constitution. We, the armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Space Force, the National Guard, are the insurance policy for our nation, to defend our family and friends, our hometowns, and our way of life. As you start this journey, you will most likely be challenged like you've never been challenged before, physically, mentally, in all sorts of ways you didn't think possible. And there's many new opportunities that your service will open up to you, and I encourage you to take full advantage of each and every one of them. So you heard, I got on the bus 30 years ago. I might have a few more laps around the track than you all, okay? But I'm not that much different than you. I sat in your seat here when I was your age, right here in my hometown of Columbus. For me, I wanted to be a Marine because I wanted the toughest challenge. To be among the few, the proud. That's what they said back then. That was the sales pitch. I knew they weren't going to give it to me. It was going to be really hard, and I would have to constantly push myself, and I'd have to earn that title. And let me tell you, I have not been disappointed. I've also had to continue to earn my place and earn the trust and respect of my fellow Marines each and every day. For those of you that want to join the Marines, that's what's going to be expected of you. But hey, you all look kind of glum. I haven't seen a whole lot of smiles out there. This is exciting. It's a big adventure. You know that, right? No? You all want to stay in school, do a couple more years in high school instead? Okay, bear with me. Let me just tell you a little bit of the cool stuff that I got to do in my 29 years. Once I made it through the initial training, they sent me to fly high-performance fighter aircraft. Now, don't tell the police, but I used to speed along these streets all the time. I had an old 60s Mustang that I worked on, and I was like 315. That was before 670 even existed. Like, That was my like drag strip, okay? They let me actually fly F-18s. And then they let me land on an aircraft carrier at night. I mean, how crazy is that, right? They actually let me jump out of airplanes and parachute down to the ground. I mean, how cool is that, right? Anybody? I've seen the world a few times over now at this point. I think I've been to every continent except maybe Antarctica. And I'm hoping for a skirmish down there so I can check the box there too. Right? I've sailed off the coast of East Africa on Navy ships with the Marine Expeditionary Unit. I've landed my F-18 on remote islands, island hopping across the vast Pacific Ocean. And, you know, if you haven't left the confines of Ohio, and, you know, the only thing that the Pacific Ocean has in common with Ohio is it's flat. It's huge, huge. I mean, it's 6-hour flight in a fighter aircraft from each one of those islands to get to all the way to Japan. I've gotten to fight for my country on multiple deployments in 2 different wars, both in the air and on the ground. And through it all, and I think you'll find this, I've made friends that I'll have for life. I know you will too. It's a different kind of bond that you make with people where you experience those kind of things. It's people that you can count on, call them at a moment's notice no matter what you're asking them, and they'll stop what they're doing to help you out. Now that's all just some of the few cool things that have happened in my career. Just imagine what's in store for you. It's really exciting, right? And if I could trade you all my rank for your age, and I could start at the beginning and do it all over again, I'll give you these stars right now. Even swap. Anybody? Any takers? No? Well, let me tell you, it's an honor to be here with you, with your parents, with the people that mean a lot to you. I'm very excited for each of you as you start your individual journeys. And I'm proud of each one of you for making a commitment to join this winning team and to serve our nation. Whether it's just for a 4-year enlistment or a 20-year career, you'll have a sense of pride for having earned a place among our veterans. It's a different kind of pride probably that you've experienced before in your life. It's a feeling that you've sacrificed and invested your blood, sweat, and tears into something bigger than yourself so that others can take full advantage of the freedoms that can only be found here in our great country. My personal congratulations to each one of you and your families on starting this exciting adventure. You have my admiration, and I wish you all the best of luck. As we say in the Marine Corps, Semper Fidelis, always faithful.
Brigadier General, thank you so much. We are proud to offer you a graduation cord as a small token of our appreciation for your service to our country. These cords were carefully woven in red, white, and blue, and we hope you wear them with honor at your graduation ceremony this year. When indicated by the usher, please make your way to the stage to receive your cord. A round of applause, please. It's true, this is a day of celebration. We are so grateful for you and the choice that you have made to serve our country. Families and guests, you are welcome to stay for pictures, greet our future service members, visit the museum, and visit the partner tables in the lobby. The National Veterans Memorial and Museum is a powerful and personal experience designed to give a voice to everyone who has answered the call for our country. The museum and gift shop will remain open until 1 o'clock. On behalf of the Honorable Mike DeWine and the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce, thank you for attending Military Signing Day. We most sincerely congratulate the class of 2025 on their upcoming graduation, and thank you for your commitment to our country and the United States Armed Forces.